Okay, well, Darth, I'm happy to talk about that sometime, but for the sake of you being on a time frame,
Yeah,
I
sure.
say we start a debate. So why don't you open up with your position, and we'll just let you and Unethical go back and forth. I'm probably
Yeah.
gonna have to dip out of here, so if any of the mods can just mod, make sure everyone they both get to talk, and make sure they both get a final statement whenever they're done.
Yeah, my position unethical is that the Christian worldview, as revealed by God in natural and special revelation, is the only coherent worldview. The non acceptance of God's revelation, the Bible, leaves one in a position where they won't be able to have intelligibility in terms of the nature of reality when they speak. That's basically it.
Okay, would you say that the statement God exists is a true statement?
Yes.
Is it true because you just believe it's true, or you derive it from a set of premises? That's tautology.
It's true. It's true because God has revealed that he exists both in natural revelation and special revelation. He's communicated with a number of individuals through the course of human history, and it's been objectively and accurately recorded in the Bible.
So it's not about deducing the claim. Actually, it was both, right? That we have data on that God exists, and you can deduce this from.
Yeah, everything in the universe is evidence of God.
Okay, we can start with the first way, which I would say, if you say you can deduce that claim, the statement God exists, then I would ask you to first name your premises and then the proof, and we can go into what this proof is later on. But first, what is the premises?
Yeah, the universe is evidence of God. The universe exists. The universe is evidence of God. Therefore, God exists.
Okay.
God is also God has also revealed himself in special revelation, the Bible.
So you had two premises and one conclusion. Was that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I would want to ask you a proof of how you apply this proof on the premises in order so the conclusion follows.
The existence of the Christian God is the necessary precondition for everything, including reason. Premise 2, we can reason. Therefore, the Christian God exists.
Okay, so I don't accept that as a proof. This okay. We can maybe talk about it in details.
What don't you accept? Premise 1, premise 2, or that the conclusion doesn't follow?
No, I don't accept the rules that you.
I said premise 1. The Christian God is the necessary precondition for everything, including reason. Premise 2, we can reason. Therefore, the Christian God exists.
Okay, but what is the rules you're applying? When I'm talking about rules, I'm talking about inference rules. There are standards.
Yeah, the God of the Bible is the necessary precondition for reason. Okay, that's the first premise. That's right. That's my premise.
Yes, but okay. Just to be clear, you have two premises and a conclusion, right? So when I talk about rules, inference rules, I would like to see you apply the standard inference rules on your premises.
Yeah,
so
I did. It follows since the God of the Bible is the necessary prerequisite for reason. Premise 1. Premise 2, we can reason. Conclusion, therefore God exists.
But now you're just mentioning your premises and conclusion.
Yeah.
So that's not a rule.
No, I said the God of the Bible is the necessary precondition for reason.
That's premise 1.
Premise 1. Premise 2, we can reason. And the conclusion is, therefore, since we can reason, therefore the God of the Bible exists.
So what was the rule that you applied in order to derive the conclusion?
Without the Christian God, we cannot reason. We can reason.
That's just the premise, right?
Right. It follows from the fact that we can reason that the Christian God exists.
Okay. I don't think I should go any further. Sorry, because when I'm talking about like an inference rule,
do you reject? Do you listen? Do you know what transcendental reasoning is?
No.
Transcendental reasoning is not strictly deductive or inductive. In other words, it says for proposition P, Q is necessary for the existence of P. P exists, therefore Q. Got it?
P exists, therefore Q. So
Q is the necessary precondition for the existence of P. P exists, therefore Q.
Okay.
Without Q, listen, without Q, P could not exist. P exists, therefore Q.
Okay, so you had then, if we're going to denote this into propositions, the first is P, the second premise.
Do you reject that the God of the Bible is the necessary prerequisite for everything, including reason? Do you reject that?
That's a deep one. No, I mean that's a long route, you know. I just want to ask you about the inference, you know. What is the?
I'm asking you if you accept or reject that.
Yeah, I'm agnostic about that.
Okay, so when you say you're agnostic, you lack belief in God? Is that it?
I don't know what God. I think it's an ill-defined concept to really.
Right. Okay. So
get to a true statement about
why is it that you lack? Why is it that you lack belief in God?
It's not I believe God exists or not. It's more like I don't know what you mean by God, or anyone for that matter.
Sir, now you're just playing little silly games. We all know what we mean by the word God. God, we would define God as a non-material, conscious, personal being that has the power and the capacity to effectuate the initial conditions of the universe. Now, in this case, the God I'm referring to is only the Christian God. Okay, I've given you a very basic generic definition of God, and then I've told you that the version that I hold to is the Christian God. Now, do you lack belief in gods because there isn't rational justification?
Is God something material that?
No, God is an immaterial being. He's an immaterial entity. Now, do you lack belief in God because God is not rationally justified?
No, first I want to define God more. What you mean by God, right?
I already gave you a definition. I asked you a question. Do you lack belief in an immaterial, personal being that brought into existence the universe, where God would be the ultimacy of reality? Do you lack belief in a personal ultimacy?
Okay, there's a lot of things I want to ask there, like how. What is this person?
God is defined as a personal ultimacy or personal absolute upon which everything depends. So you lack belief in that, right?
Hold on a sec. Are you saying that this is a true claim?
Do you lack belief in God, sir? This is really simple. I think your English is good enough. Do you lack belief in God?
I'm neutral. I don't know. I know what you have given a definition.
I didn't ask you to affirm or deny it. You lack belief in God. You lack belief in the affirmation and the denial of God. So you lack belief in God. This isn't very complicated, sir.
Like I don't want to. I think I'm neutral on that question.
No,
I can't say yes or no.
So you're neutral on whether you lack belief in God. You don't know whether you lack belief in God?
No, because I want more questions and more definition on what
I'm trying to. Well, sir, I don't care what you want. What I'm asking you is, what is your state of mind? Is your state of mind? Do you have an absence of belief in God, sir?
Okay, what is let's go into more defining God.
Sir, do you have an
wait.
absence and a belief in God?
Unethically vegan. Unless you're saying that you do believe in God, the answer should be yes. Unless you say I believe in God or I believe in a God, then the answer would be yes, that you lack the belief. It's a binary, because the lack of or non, it just, no matter what context you look at it, like for example, like asymmetrical, anything that's not symmetrical is a lack of symmetry, right?
Okay, vegan, are you familiar with the laws of logic?
I want to make a little point here. Unethical vegan has a bit of a habit of claiming to know something to a point of lecturing other people on it. Like, for example, claiming to understand the concept of validity and then needing to have the concept of validity explained to him for 2 hours by a philosophy PhD and not comprehending it. And he's also ranted endlessly about inference rules and just failed to understand the most basic inference rule that which is the modus ponens. Darth just said to you, if P then Q, he used the letters in reverse, but he said if P then Q, P therefore Q, that's a fucking modus ponens, UV. That's the most basic inference rule ever. That's the simplest inference rule, and you just didn't spot it.
That's the implication elimination.
Okay, vegan, either you have a belief in God or not. Okay, vegan, either you have a belief in God or not. Which is it?
You mean lack, right? So,
vegan, do you have a belief in God? Vegan, do you have a belief in God? I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah, as I want to say, I don't want to.
Vegan, do you believe Donald Trump is the president of the United States?
If I'm gonna go by my definition,
vegan. Okay, good. So you believe it. Vegan, do you believe there are rocks on the moon?
Yes, by my definition.
Okay, vegan, do you believe that sometimes there are clouds in the sky?
Yes.
Okay, vegan, do you have a belief that there is a creator God?
Then I would like for you to go.
I've already defined it for you, sir. Do you believe in a creator God according to the definition that I've given?
Unnatural vegan, don't confuse knowledge with belief. Belief is just whether you believe it or not.
This is really simple. It's amazing. Somebody who claims to be at least some philosophically literate. I have some of the dumbest people on Discord are able to answer these very simple questions. Do you have a belief in God?
Well, that's like because I don't know what you mean by God. Yeah, I know.
I already explained to you the definition of God. Do you have belief that there is a personal conscious being who is the creator and sustainer of all things? Do you have such a belief, sir?
I would want you to ask what you mean by creator.
Okay, gentlemen. So I'm done with this guy. This guy is overtly obtuse on purpose. Okay. So there's no point in the conversation. He can't even answer a simple question. Do you believe in God? Okay, so there's no point in the conversation going on any further.
See ya.
All right, so we're gonna do what we always do here and give people closing statements. Are you sure you're done, Darth? You don't want to try to give him a definition one more time and see if he can...
How many times do I have to give it to him?
Try one more time.
Vegan, God is defined as a non-material, conscious, personal being who is the ultimacy and absolute of existence that provides for everything else that exists, because he is defined as the creator of all things. Do you have a belief in such a God?
That's a lot of definitions there. I don't know. I don't think we should go down that.
Okay, you see, look, this guy can't possibly be this stupid. He is simply trying.
The way I like to
you're over talking me. Ask yourself. He's simply purposely being obtuse. Okay, so I'm not going to sit there and carry on a conversation, let alone a debate with somebody who can't even answer the simplest of question. Little children can answer this question.
All right, so I'm going to say, if you're calling it there, just closing statements. So Unethical Vegan, you can go as long as you want. Darth won't interrupt you. You know, make your closing statement, say whatever you want, and then he'll make his.
Yes, I would just summarize this
Unethical
as
vegan.
Yo,
Do you mind if I just say
Will, don't cut him off. Let him make his statement.
I just wanted to help him with one thing, though.
Will. No.
Okay, I'll do it after. Yeah, no worries.
yeah, I would just summarize it as if I can't answer if the concept is ill-defined, and there it's like me saying, "Do you believe in X?" And then you ask me, "Okay, what is X?" And then I go on a tangent, but it's not properly defined in order to conclude to a true or false statement about that claim. So I would like more definitions in order for me to be able to say yes or no. I could just say yes, I believe there's no God, right? But then it wouldn't be.
Yeah, this is a waste of
from my
my time.
perspective.
I'll see you guys later.
Darth, well, he's gone. Well, you can still make your statement for the record, UV.
No, I was finished.
All right, well, that was short-lived.